Let's talk about that feeling. You know the one. You're staring at your bank balance late at night, and this little knot of anxiety just tightens in your stomach. You know you should have more, but somehow it just seems to vanish. Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to figure out how to stop your money from performing its monthly disappearing act, and we're going to turn that anxiety into pure empowerment.
Does this look familiar? I mean, it was a totally normal month, right? No crazy shopping sprees, no massive unexpected bills, just life. And yet, there you are looking at the number thinking, seriously, where did it all go? I should have way more than this. You are not alone. It's like you're stuck in financial quicksand. You're earning a decent income, but you just never seem to get ahead.
So where is the money really going? Well, a lot of the time, it's just vanishing into these super common traps, things that have become so normalized we barely even notice them anymore. That brand new car payment that feels more like a second mortgage, the daily takeout habit that definitely isn't cheap these days, a whole bunch of subscriptions you completely forgot you were even paying for. Oh, and of course, paying hundreds of dollars extra just for a tiny logo. These things right here, they're the silent wealth killers.
Okay, so this gets to the real heart of the issue, this feeling of being constantly broke even when you're working your tail off. Let's call it the money disappearing act and really dig into why it happens.
This right here cuts through one of the biggest myths out there. We're all taught that a bigger paycheck automatically means you're wealthy. But the reality? Come on, you and I both know plenty of people with six-figure salaries who are completely broke. That's because wealth isn't about how much money you make. It's all about the systems you build to actually keep and grow what you make.
And here's the psychology that keeps people trapped. This quote just nails it. We get into debt to buy stuff we can't afford, all to project this image of success to people who, let's be totally honest, aren't thinking about us at all. It is a game you literally cannot win, and it's the fastest way to stay poor forever.
So now that we kind of see the problem, let's talk about the solution. And the first step isn't some complicated budget. It's a huge psychological shift. This is what I call the moment of awakening.
$10,000. This number right here. This is the first real game changer in your financial life. It's not $1 million, it's not even 100,000. But hitting this specific milestone, it fundamentally changes your relationship with money and, believe it or not, with life itself.
Think about it. Before you hit this mark, every little unexpected expense feels like a potential disaster. The check engine light comes on and you just spiral into a panic. You are constantly playing defense. But after you have that cushion, that same check engine light is just an annoyance. It's an inconvenience. You have options. Having that financial security literally reduces the stress hormone cortisol in your brain, which frees up so much mental energy to focus on playing offense, on looking for opportunities, not just trying to survive.
This is what we call the emergency fund effect. And you want to know the secret? The real benefit doesn't come from spending the money. It comes from the peace of mind of just knowing it's there. That feeling is the real asset. It gives you the confidence to ask for that raise, to maybe invest in a new skill, or even to walk away from a bad job, because you are not desperate anymore.
All right, so the psychological shift has happened. You get it. Now it's time for a system, a real practical plan that builds your wealth on autopilot, so you don't have to rely on sheer willpower. Let's build it.
The single most important rule is this simple phrase: pay yourself first. You know, most people do the exact opposite. They pay their bills, they buy all their stuff, and then they try to save whatever's left over at the end of the month, which, of course, is usually nothing. People who build wealth flip this script completely. They treat their savings and their investments like the most important bill they have to pay.
And this is the routine that makes it all happen, automatically. Every single time you get paid, the money just flows where it needs to go. First, it covers your absolute necessities, your housing, food, and transportation. Second, automated payments chip away at your debt. Third, a piece automatically goes to building up that emergency fund. And finally, money is automatically invested for your future. You literally build wealth in your sleep because the system is doing all the heavy lifting for you. Now, as you start investing, you're going to hear this phrase a lot, and I'm telling you, it is absolutely true. Getting to that first $100,000 feels like climbing a mountain. It takes real discipline and consistency. But what most people just don't get is that once you hit that milestone, you've just finished the hardest part of the entire journey to becoming a millionaire.
And this is why it's the unbelievable power of compound interest, the snowball effect. Look at this. It might take you 8 years to save that first 100,000, but the second 100,000, that only takes 5 more years. And then the next doubling to 400 grand takes another 5. Your growth starts to accelerate like crazy. Your money is now working harder than you are, and the whole process just speeds up dramatically.
So, this system is working, your money's growing, but what's the end goal here? What are we actually working towards? It's time to redefine what it truly means to be rich.
Let's be really clear. The real goal is not the fancy car or the designer watch. Those are the things you buy to look wealthy. The actual goal is freedom. The freedom to wake up in the morning without an alarm clock. The freedom to spend your days exactly how you choose to, not how you have to just to pay the bills. The real goal is to own your time, because that is your most valuable asset.
And just look at how achievable this freedom really is. You don't need $10 million. With $500,000, even a super conservative 5% return can generate over $2,000 a month in passive income. A more balanced portfolio could bring in over $40,000 a year. You're living off the returns without ever touching the original pile of money. This is the moment where work becomes a choice, not a requirement.
Ultimately, this is what it all boils down to. True wealth isn't about owning more things. It's about having more options. The option to quit that job you hate, to start a business, to travel the world, to spend more time with your family. That is the real return on your investment. So it all comes down to this one fundamental choice. Every single dollar you earn presents you with this exact question. You can spend it trying to look successful today, or you can invest it to actually be successful tomorrow. You really can't do both. So which path are you going to choose?